Good afternoon. How's life? Take a look at it on the old um, YouTube view. Yeah, it looks good. I have my little section, my drawing tablet down here. I'm using it as a second screen. And it seems alright. It's a little delayed, but that's okay. And let's go up here and kill some time. I remember how the mouse works going across the screens. And let's go. Let's not go there. Not go there. Let's go to here. Oh God, it's going to give me that problem because I don't use this very often. All right, that's an easy fix. Anyone here yet? I'm kind of not paying attention because it just fired up and I didn't broadcast it anywhere. I didn't tell anyone, so I'm just going to let it sit for a minute and see if anyone shows up. Not that it matters. Let's do it there. Let's do it here. Let it be known. And then we'll give it a minute, see if anyone shows up. Probably not, but spur of the moment stream. Huh, there's some YouTube-y freaking things going on. Oh, Modbot's streaming too, or just finished streaming. Did he just finish streaming? I think he just finished streaming from the looks of it. Take these off because I'm not going to be out to shop. And whatever. It's just going to be a quick anyway, so let's take a look at it. Printed solid, yay. This is the new Elixir filament. The new old Elixir filament. If you don't know what Elixir filament is, Elixir was the very first silk filament. It was made by Polyalchemy. And there is one Royal Ruby, one Misty Green, and one Transition Roll. And I like getting the mystery transition rolls. Generally, they put you over that $50 mark. If you buy 2 rolls, you're just under $50. You buy the transition roll real cheap. They put you over the $50 mark to get the free shipping from printed solid. Didn't really need it because they were on sale for $19 anyway, so I could just buy a regular roll. But I like the transition rolls. They're always kind of interesting, and you never know what color you get. Now this is a purple. I know it looks kind of blue on the camera because the cameras don't show very well. But what's up, Andrew? Renee! Look, transition rolls. Did you order some Bob filament, Renee, while Prentice Hollow was having a discount? I don't know if you saw, but Prentice Hollow was having a discount. I had this past weekend. Everything was $19. This is normally $25, $27, something like that. It's $19. So I ordered a couple tree rolls. I ordered candy and paid a lot of money for it and got free filament. This is a purple. I know it looks kind of blue in the camera, but it's actually purple. And it's a transition roll, so I have no idea what color it's going to transition into. This is their new Elixir. Ooh, green. It's like a weird silky green. Now, supposedly, if you didn't know the original Elixir, and actually, Chris Riley was talking about it this weekend on his live stream. The Elixir used to have that. It actually had like PLA and TPU mixed together or some such thing. And it used to, when you would extrude it, like if you pre-extruded, it would suck back up into the nozzle. It was kind of weird. And it also had some serious, it looked gorgeous. It's still the best looking silk filament. I still have some original. But it kind of had layer adhesion issues because there was PLA and TPU really don't mix well, don't adhere well. You can make it, but it doesn't do great. Supposedly they changed the mix a little bit and made it so that's not a problem. This is their ruby red, and it is very ruby red, and it's very pretty. I will say the original colors were better. They were unique. Like their red, they had a wine red that was just like this deep, dark red. What's up, Mike? No hobby purchases allowed. Oh, right. I forgot about that. We won't get into that. That's personal issues. Their original colors were they were just really unique colors, which is not only were they the first silks, but they were really unique colors. These are nice. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love it. I have absolutely no problems with them. It's just the original, and I might have to pull one out. Yeah, everyone liked that smash button. The original colors were just really unique and weird, and they were just gorgeous. And these are still great, but they just don't have that super unique, like awe-inspiring coloring that the originals have. And still, in fact, I can probably pull them out. Let me do that. I don't know about you guys, but the weather's like absolutely gorgeous here. It's like, whoa, focus. I've actually got shorts on. It's borderline hot out. And my knee, because my knee is busted up again. What do I have for the original polyalchemy? Still got a bunch of it around. There's an old purple. I'll bring it over in a second. But I have like a whole bunch of original polyalchemy, and I shouldn't be doing that with my bad shoulder, but oh well. I'm actually running low on polyalchemy originals. But have a look. I used to love the polyalchemy. These are all the polyalchemy originals I have. Actually, I don't know if you guys can even can hear me way over here. Bad one. Am I babbling? Can you hear me way over there? Oh, see, the camera's not doing this justice. Because that's almost looking like a silver green, which it is. But in real life, it's much brighter green, as most of you guys know. Hey, Michael. Yeah, this microphone over here works pretty good, even at a distance. Let's compare the green. And originally, this green, and I'm not a green guy, but this green was the original eye catcher I got when I first saw the polyalchemies, oh my God, 10 years ago. From Excel? Well, that sucks. This green, this emerald green, is just super bright. The camera is not doing it justice. It's making it look more silvery than it is, which it is silvery green. But as you can see, this green is much more, and this is actually closer. It's like a blue silver green. It's more foresty green than bright emerald green. But it's still a nice color. I mean, I like them both. Misty green, they call it. So it's a different color. It's not the original. But it's nice. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty. It's just a different shade. And this used to this was the original like red. And again, the camera's not doing it justice because this stuff is gorgeous. It's like a wine red. Merlot, they call it Merlot. And this is still pretty. I like them both. I like the deeper kind of royally wine red. This is more of a standard red, fire engine, bright red. They're both gorgeous. And then this is the night sky, isn't it? Nightshade, which is very purple. Even the cameras, that's almost close to what it is. It's a little more blue in the camera than in real life, but yeah, the original polyalchemies were just amazingly different colors. That's very close to the real color. The camera actually shows blue pretty well. This is pretty close to the real color. It's a little more, it's making it a steely, silvery blue. And this is very baby blue in real life. Oh, he did your art room in that? Oh, he did your pen things in it too, didn't he? And then that's actually very close to the original color. The camera's reproducing it really close. That is a nice color. But even the new ones are nice. They're just different, I like them a lot, actually. And I was never big into the silks. Polyalchemy is the only silk I really ever bought. Yeah, I did like one or two others. Actually, I do have one other silk. That right there is actually silk that's on there. It's like I think they call it smoky bronze or smoky brass or something. I don't know. I had to look. I had to open up and see, and the bright light from my window is making my camera white balance go flatty. But anyway, it is what it is. That's pretty much the whole stream. There you go. 15 minutes. Excuse me. I had to open it. I was going to wait until tonight to open them and do a live stream and do it longer and everything. And I just nope. I want to see what they look like now. You know what else we could do that's fun? Something I got a couple of days ago as a joke. Let's turn the keyboard off. Is this crap? This is it's silly putty slime. They say you rub it on your keyboard and it picks up all the dirt. And the only problem is that a lot of the stuff I want to get up is in between the The minute you push it in there, it's pushing the knob down, and it's not getting the stuff in between because it's being pushed down. But it does work. I actually did it once already. It actually works. It's like, I don't know, $5, $6. As you can see, I don't know. You can see that already. It pulled off some gunkies off my keyboard. I can't hold on to it because I can't get the gunky off. There we go. And it recongeals, like you can see where it's, the separate part that I put in there. I close this up a couple hours, it'll look like one big thing again. It actually works. It's like the third time I've done my keyboard with it. If you put it in flat and press it down into it and it peels it off, it'll work. Yeah, but it's still pushing the. Why won't my camera focus? There we go. When you push it down, these are so soft on these old Mac keyboards. This is an old one. It just pushes the key in, so it doesn't get down into it. If you push too hard, you just break the key. They actually just came out with a new Mac keyboard yesterday, which looks like a waste to me. There's nothing really new. And the new mouse is no real different than the old mouse. And I'm an Apple fan for sure, but the Apple mouse was a piece of junk. The whole plugging it in at the bottom always drove me nuts. That's just stupid. I'm sorry. For people that talk about how great their designs and everything are, the whole sticking it in the bottom is dumb. I don't rely on Apple products. I buy Apple products because they're generally better. Not always. I've actually gone back and forth with phones, and I wouldn't say the Apple phone's any better or any worse. They're about the same. I just kept going with the Apple phone. For one, I always get them at wicked discounts because I buy them at refurb from Apple, so they're usually like half price. Which is why I haven't bought a new one, because they don't have a new one on sale right now, refurbed, and they all just work together. I can get a phone call, and if I'm not at my phone after one ring, it'll kick over to my iPad or onto the computer, and I can actually answer the phone on the iPad or the computer. It just automatically does it. Yeah, I know. I know you're teasing. I've actually been thinking about building a PC because even with all their better chips and graphic cards and everything, they're still not good gaming. And I've been thinking about starting gaming again. I've been playing the PlayStation 4, and I see its lackings in modern world. And I get to play a PS5, but again, you're limited to anything that Sony wants to regulate and deal with. And it's almost as much. It's only a couple $100 more to actually build a mediocre gaming PC than it is a PS5. So why not just get a gaming PC and use Steam? No, they're not always better. No, they're not older hardware. Not anymore. You could say that 10 years ago. Not anymore. The M series Macs just generally smoke anything on the PC side right now, which won't last much longer. PCs are catching up, and they're making, as soon as Windows really accepts the ARM chip, the PCs will catch up and probably walk ahead of the Mac. But right now, the ARM chip is just way better than anything you can get on a PC. But the new Mac Mini, I love the new Mac Mini, but the one freaking problem everyone's complaining about, not that I need it, the one I have is perfectly fine. I am not going to buy a new computer anytime soon. There's nothing wrong. This is fast enough. I actually just rebuilt 2015 iMac. And everyone's like, oh, it's slow and it's this and that and the other thing. I pulled the hard drive out and put an SSD in it. It starts up almost as fast as this does. Cost me $50. Cost me more for the SSD. It was like $80 for the SSD and $50 for the actual iMac. iMac works beautiful. Thing's awesome. I'm going to hook it up to my CNC. So why I bought it, get rid of the laptop. 27-inch too. The monitor's fucking worth $50. Even if I never use the Mac, but underneath it, the monitor is just gorgeous. Yeah, they're not. The new freaking Mac Mini that just came out yesterday, and something's supposed to come out today or tomorrow, I think too, isn't there? They're like doing a new thing instead of doing a whole big show and introducing them. They're going to do little mini 10-minute shows and release a new product every day or whatever. I don't know. I don't get into that whole show thing. I'm bleeding. How did I start bleeding? What am I bleeding from? Something I scratched. Anyway, minor. Um, the new Mac Mini looks awesome. It looks powerful. It looks like a great little mini computer for the everyday user. You know, nothing. It's more powerful than what you're going to get in a PC at $600 or $700 for the same money. Little itty bitty box. It's even smaller than the old Mac Minis. It's a studio because my brother's got the studio, but I had a Mac Mini. It's tiny, tiny. They put the stupid power button underneath, and I got to agree with everyone. That's just dumb. I hate the power button in the back of this. I wish they just put it in the top. And they're like, oh, you shouldn't have to shut it off. It's just dumb. Shut your fucking. I don't care if you got a Mac, or PC, Linux. Shut the damn thing off when you're not using it. For one, it's just wasting power. You know, I've always tried to deal with Linux. I actually built a couple Linux machines like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I just can't. For one, it's not even that it doesn't work as well because it works just fine. There's just nothing for it. Nobody really builds any apps for it. Sure, there's the basics, and that's it. But Linux is for super geeks, and I'm just not. And the reason I went with a Mac is one, generally they're more reliable. Not always, but generally, day to day, all day use. I ran for 20 years, more than 20 years, Macs and PCs side by side, and the Macs always just worked. The PCs were always in the shop. They were always having problems. They were always crashing. Macs just worked, which is why I always lean more toward Mac. Now they're almost the same. I mean, PCs still crash, but it's more because people are screwing with them. You go out and buy a PC or build one even, and you start running it, and as long as you run it reasonably, you're not going to have any problems with them. They're both fine. Which is why I've been thinking about building a gaming PC, because the new Windows, 10 or 11 or 12 they're up to now is way more reliable than, I mean, the last time I fully worked with a Windows machine was like, I don't want to say XP. I mean, XP stuck around way past its prime. They didn't steal their source code from Unix. They bought it, and it's always been, OS 10's always been Unix. They didn't hide that. They used to brag about it originally. That was their whole thing when they bought Steve Jobs back, because Steve Jobs took off and started his own little, the hell was it, Next? I think it was. Started his own little Linux box. And Apple's like, please come back. We need a true salesman. And they bought it and used that operating system. They actually, Mac OS is based on, pretty sure it was Next, wasn't it? Next OS? Yeah. And that's what Mac OS is based on. They never hid that. They made that public. They had bragged about it when they first did it. It was always a Linux base. Still is. I can still go into my terminal and do anything I want. I do use the terminal on occasion if I got to do something specific. If I'm programming a Raspberry Pi for a 3D printer or something, I use the terminal. I don't try and do it through a Mac freaking app. It's so much easier to do in the terminal. Yeah. Merlin's open source, and Prusa has some closed source, not all of it, but they have some closed source material on it. And actually, Mac isn't really closed. I mean, it is and it isn't. It's kind of like Prusa OS. You have to back off on stuff. I'm sorry, what everyone says about freeware and open sources. If large companies have to invest millions of dollars into something, they need to protect themselves against it. I'm all for open source, but I'm also all for people protecting their stuff. Just like I don't have a problem with Slice patenting their hot end. Everyone that used to bitch about Slice patenting their hot ends, I'm like, it's not your normal hot end, especially when it first came out. Everyone's copying it now, but Slice really did a lot of high tech stuff to their hot end that no one had done yet, and they patented it. They should. If you spend that much money on something, you should be able to get your. You should have enough time to recover your money back before everyone starts copying it within reason. I mean, I don't know. There's two sides to all of it. It's just like Adobe. I mean, they're never open source, but I just won't use Adobe products anymore. And it's not even that I have a problem with Adobe. It's not worth it. They've made it so ridiculously overpriced. Then made it, not only is it overpriced, but then they made it freaking mortgageware. It's not even mortgageware anymore. It's hostageware. It's overpriced hostageware. Are they the best? Yeah, I mean, if you really need the best photo editing app out there, Photoshop is it. There's so many alternatives that will do 80-90% that are just as good and way cheaper. There's two sides to every story. And there's other operating systems that were based on Unix that are not open source. Pretty much any high-end server software, Red Hat, it's based on Linux, Unix. It's not free. It's not open source. Well, actually, I think Red Hat is open source. Silicon Graphics, that was based on Unix. That's not open source. None of the big. Unix has been around longer than any other operating system. Unix is like the original operating system. Yeah, you really don't have to have it anymore. You really don't. There's nothing that can't be written by like Affinity or one of the other. Even the Corel ones are almost as good as Adobe now. Corel's actually coming back from what I've seen. I've been kind of at the image editing for like 15 years. Pretty much since Adobe went to the mortgageware. When they went to a subscription base, I bailed on them and went to Affinity. And Affinity does more than anything I'll ever need. Again, I'm not doing anything like you, so you may still need Adobe. I just putz around with it. I'm not using it for anything truly professional. Although I do some pretty high-end stuff with it. Yeah, Acrobat. But Acrobat is open source. You really don't need to buy it. Yeah, again, that's one of those where I might get a PC because DaVinci Resolve does not run well on a Mac. And I have Final Cut Pro. I got it like, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe longer. They had a sale when you bought a Mac. And I bought a refurb Mac and you got it for like $100. I was like, why not? It's an extra $100. Yeah, had it ever since. I paid another dime for it. And they just updated it again. Yeah, Adobe is one of the better ones for the graduates. I will give you that because even the Affinity, it does okay. Affinity does really good on the screen. The graduates look great. The minute you try and print it, you get the layers. I've noticed that. And that could be the printer. I have some cheap homeowner jets, not like I'm assuming you have the big roller. Yeah, like that. I still have that. It's right there. I've been thinking about hanging it in this room after I paint. I'm going to paint this room soon, as soon as my shoulder is good. As soon as the doctor gives me the okay, I'm going to paint this room. And that's going up somewhere. I haven't figured out where yet. I actually think it's going to go, well, you can't really see it, but this closet, I'm not going to put the doors back on. I think I'm going to put a printer or two in here. And I'm going to put that poster on the back wall of the closet. Because that's all that'll be in there is the printers. Because I still have it. Thing's awesome. Right there. Still in the roll. I had it out like a week ago when my nieces were here, and she's like, "What?" I'm like, "You know that goofy llama face?" She's like, "Yeah, I got a huge poster of that." And she's like, "No way." Yep, I got a big, huge llama poster that Michael printed for me. Either that or I might put it right where the shelving's everything's backwards because of the camera. I might actually put it right there. This is all gonna, well, that one won't, this one will. This is all going away because I got rid of Comcast last week. This is all brand new FiberNet. It's all fiber optics coming into the house with Frontier. This is all old Comcast over here, and that's getting ready to go away. The internet's already disconnected. My brother has to shut it off because it's all in mom's name. Or this is my name because now I have control of it. I don't have to deal with my brother at all. And it's cheaper. And it's faster. Actually, it's about the same, maybe even a little slower downloading. Upload is just so amazingly faster. So very much faster. I mean, I used to stream like this and I would constantly get like jitters and max headroom and crap. And no more. The fiber is way better. And with Verizon buying out Frontier, it's gotten a lot better service. I have a feeling the price is going to go up because Verizon offer prices everything, but I have a 1-year contract and they can't spit it on me now because I prepaid it. I prepaid the whole year. So I don't have a bill for a year. And they actually gave me, because they give you, I think it was $5 off a month if you do the, sign up for your checking account auto pay. I think they gave me another like $2.50 or $3 a month off for prepaying the whole year. And it was still way cheaper. It's like half the price of Comcast. And the upload is so much better. So much more reliable. And they gave me all kinds of hardware. Not that I want it. They gave me, I don't know if you can see it next to the printer here. I was like, I really need a hub. Do you guys have a hub? How much are you going to charge me a month? They're like, we'll just give them to you. It's just an old modem router. It's one of their all-in-one modem routers. And they're like, just use it as a router. It's free. Here, take it. I'm like, yeah. And I mean, it works. I actually had it hooked up for a while, but I was like, I don't need it with the new mesh network because Frontier comes with the new mesh network, which works fine. They give you a really nice router and Wi-Fi modem. It's the Eero freaking 6 Plus Pro. And I bought a couple of 6 Pluses before that anyways, because I was converting to a mesh network, so it all worked together. No more wires. I am going to run a wire out to the garage, which is why I want a router. An actual Ethernet router, because I have a wire run out there, but it's over here. It's over here right now. And I don't need it. But it's kind of slow out in the garage. It's about half the speed. I'm only getting like 200 up and down instead of 500. It's too far of a range. It still works. It's better than the Comcast was. The Comcast was about 100 down out there and like 6 or 8 up. This is why I never streamed out there. I very seldom did. I kept trying and it would fail miserably. I got like scratches on my elbow. I got bloody parts all over my left arm. I don't know what it's from. I've been working out in the yard the last 3 days. I'm taking today off because I had physical therapy this morning and he beat the crap out of my arm. And I've been beating the crap out of it for the last 3 days because the weather's been good and the leaves have been falling. And I've literally been mowing the leaves because I haven't mowed the lawn all summer because of the shoulder surgery. So nothing got mowed. So I can't really blow because the grass is all and the weeds and not really grass here. It's mostly weeds and briars and crap, but you can't blow the leaves because it just catches on it. So just mowing the leaves and everything, just mulching them down. I don't care. It's basically forest here anyways. And it looks better and it keeps them from blowing around. But every time I do it, we get a windstorm. We're getting all windy today and all I did yesterday is all covered. You can't even tell I did it. But that's all right. It's that much less that's on the ground now. Knew that was going to happen anyways. Just wish it would last a couple of days, not just freaking overnight. Anyway, have we hit the half-hour mark? 35 minutes? Yep. Anyway, how many people are actually here? Did it say somewhere? 8. We got a whole 8 people watching. Anyway, that was the whole thing. We got some new filamentum. New filament. Need some new filament. Like that smash button. Yeah, Mike, you keep pushing that. I need to get my. I haven't been streaming. I haven't been making videos for like 7-8 months. Once my shoulder was discovered that it was really, really bad, I just stopped doing anything. So there was nothing to stream. There was nothing to record. So I stopped doing anything online. And now I kind of wanted to get the videos back. I did a video the other day on some rust preventative, which I couldn't believe how 3 months I've not been out in my wood shop in almost 3 months. I mean, besides just walking through it. I haven't done any work out there. I haven't used any of the tools. And all my cast iron, rust-free. I mean, rust-free for what they are. They're all 25-year-old tools, so they all got pot marks on them because I got them beat up and then reconditioned them. But there's no fresh rust on them, which used to come like every couple of weeks if I wasn't cleaning and reapplying finish and wax to them. They'd be covered in rust. Started using that T9 crap, and I thought it was a myth that nothing would actually do that. There ain't no rust on it. None. And I didn't coat it before I went for the surgery. It'd probably been done a month before that. So we're talking almost 4 months since any of that stuff's been coated. And the T9, I put T9 down, let it sit, wipe it off, let it sit overnight and cure. Next morning I come up and I actually use regular old beeswax and mineral oil, which is what I use on my cutting boards. I just put cutting board oil wax on it. Because the only thing the T9 doesn't do is leave a nice slippery surface. It's a great rust preventative, but it's not slippery. When you go to push a board across it, it actually almost makes it sticky. So I put the wax on it to make it slippery, and no rust. Nothing. I got to go out there and wax it again because the wax has gone off because my brother was here and pushed some boards through it yesterday. He's like, man, this is tough. Like, yeah, I got to wax everything. You wax right over the T9. It works great. Yeah, no, you don't want to put the T9 on Dutch ovens and skillets. That wouldn't work well. But here for the shoreline, I mean, yeah, I didn't know most of you guys know, but I'm less than a mile from the shore. I get salty air, wind. So all my cast iron tabletops and everything on the table saw and the miter box and the chop box and band saws, routers, everything that's got a cast iron base on it would rust within a couple of weeks if you didn't take care of it. Nothing. Yeah, I think the wax is a bit help, but I was doing the wax because I don't know if you know, Johnson's Paste Wax for my whole entire life was the cast iron top treatment. Use Johnson's Paste Wax on your table saws and your bandsaw tops and your jointers and your planers and any cast iron tool. Use Johnson's Paste Wax. Well, Johnson's Paste Wax closed up. They stopped making it. Johnson didn't go under. They just stopped making Johnson's Paste Wax. Don't know why. It was the thing. I don't see how they could be losing money on it because any woodworker in the world used it. God, we were using it when I was working at a cabinet shop over in Saybrook. On our big industrial tools. That's what you did. You put Johnson's Paste Wax on anything that was cast iron once a week. You just did it. But they don't make it anymore. So everyone had to find alternatives. And I put just like min wax on there for a while. It works. I mean, it's better than nothing, but last week, maybe two, I tried just using my, my cutting board wax, which is just mineral oil, and I probably have some here. I make it myself. I just melt beeswax and mineral oil together, stir it up, and put it in a jug. Put that on top a week or two. Started spraying that T9 on it. Doesn't rust. Just doesn't rust. So that's a good thing. I'm a big fan of the T9 now. I always thought it was a myth back in the day, but it ain't. I've actually started putting it on like the actual blades and stuff on the. I have a helical head on the planer. Spray it right on the blades. They're all, high carbon steel or whatever they call it, tungsten, whatever the hell it is. No more rust on any of the blades. Stuff's awesome. Yeah, that's a little different when you're cutting aluminum. You're using it as a lubricant, not as a rust preventative. T9 works beautiful. I was thinking about getting some. They got all those new ceramic coatings for cast iron tables and everything. Like they're bragging about. You put on the car, you get a little itty bitty bottle, and you put on a sponge, and like 3 drops, you do the whole car with kind of thing, and it's supposed to make it all perfect. It's like $100 a bottle. The T9's like $9.99 for a big old can that I've had almost a year now. Yeah, I'm gonna go too. This was just later non-fan. This was just a fun. Open up the Elixir filament box because I didn't want to wait to open it thing and see what was in there because it just came today. Came this afternoon. Anyway, I'm gonna kill it. Y'all have a wonderful day. Maybe I'll stream later on or tomorrow or this weekend or do an actual video. I haven't actually a video started recording and I never finished it. I could edit that later. Anyway, you all have a wonderful day. Get some Elixir filament. It's awesome.